step one, you're gonna put 1 package of Jell-O, just vanilla like pudding. So it's the Jell-O brand I use, but any kind of pudding. So that's there. You can put that in the bowl. And we're actually just gonna make like the pudding according to the directions. So you're gonna also then add 3 cups of milk. And so you can fill it up to 3 cups and then put it in there.
I'm a good measurer.
Good. Perfect. All right, and then pour it in there. And you can use either like an electric, like egg beater, like mixer, or you can just use one of these. And you're gonna mix it up. And you want to make sure that you like really get all of it so that it thickens. And then once it's really well mixed, you're just gonna put it in the fridge for like just a few minutes so it will thicken. So we'll leave that in there. And then while that's setting, we will just get all of this stuff ready to go. So this is just 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and it's the Eagle brand is the kind I use, but it's the thicker kind. It's like when you shake it in the store, it won't you won't hear it shake because there's like condensed milk and then there's evaporated milk. You don't want the evaporated milk, you want the condensed. And then sour cream. This is a bigger container than I usually use, so we probably won't use this whole container. This one's like 16 ounces. Usually I just use an 8-ounce container of sour cream. And again, if you want to make this a healthier option, you can use light pudding. You can use fat-free Nutella wafers. You can use either light or fat-free Cool Whip, and you can also use light or fat-free sour cream. That'll make it a little bit healthier. And then we've got our Cool Whip that we're going to add last, and it gives it a little bit of extra fluff. Yes, exactly. And you also want to make sure that because a Cool Whip comes frozen usually, it's like in the frozen section. You want to let it thaw out a little bit or else it's really hard to mix in. Okay. This needs like maybe 1 more minute. And then for the bananas at the end, when we mix these 3 things into the pudding that's already been made, then what we're going to do is we're going to layer the wafers and then cut up the bananas and layer it with the full mixture into here. And you can use 3 bananas or 4 bananas. If you want it to be like more banana, you can use 4. And so I will get out just a knife first to cut up. You want to cut the bananas up real fine so that they're not too chunky. Okay, perfect. So then you can go ahead and add the condensed milk.
Whoa, how'd that happen so fast?
It's yellow.
How'd that happen so fast?
It's an instant. That's why it's important to use the instant pudding. You can go ahead and start mixing that together.
Okay, let Viv mix, Kim.
What?
Let Viv mix. Okay.
This makes it lighter.
And then Vivian, you can go ahead and add in the sour cream, and again, add about half of that.
Was this supposed to make it lighter?
This just makes it a little bit, this like is a sweetness to it, and the sour cream kind of takes away, it like balances out the extra sweetness, but this adds texture, and it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. And the sour cream kind of balances out that sweet, the real super sweet flavor, which is why it has a nice, that's good. Yep. We can taste it and we feel like it's too sweet, we can add more. And if it's not sweet enough, you can always add more like Cool Whip. We only have 1 container and that usually works pretty well. Okay, so then go ahead and add the Cool Whip.
All of it?
All of that. Yep.
Ooh.
Make it thicker.
And make it floofier.
And
Yep.
thicker. Fine, floofier. You win this battle. Just turn it upside down.
Yeah, I know. My hand isn't big enough to do that. This is a big container, okay? I'm not that.
And if you
gonna
don't want
take
really
this
any
and-
stringiness in the bananas, you can just kind of take a knife and just take the very edge of the banana off, and that way you don't get any of that stringy stuff in the bananas.
You just put some on my hand.
It's like a professional cook show over here.
Professional cook show.
Right?
Yeah. Good Mr. Cam.
Cameron's whisking it up.
Why is this so hard?
So,
Don't film me mixing.
I'm just filling the.
can you help me mix? Wait, I just want to feel how thick this is.
Cameron.
Wait, wow, that is thick.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, fluffy.
Fluffy. I like saying fluffy though. Fluffy is a better word.
Floofy then fluffy?
No, fluffy then thick.
Oh, then thick. Got it.
And fluffy.
Uh-huh.
Say this was right?
Can I hold while you cut? No, that's got it.
Yeah.
Oops.
I don't really want to.
Because
What are you saying?
it looks like a beard. It looks like, that looks like what Santa's
Okay, I'm
beard
just
would
gonna
be made of.
scrape out
Like
a little
this.
bit more of this. And finally,
Use all the Cool Whip you can.
You have so much
I trying to
time.
see myself.
It's
Oh my gosh, it's so.
so thick.
Yeah, we should. Keon, you should record what it's supposed to look like at the end.
I will.
okay, so I usually put just
right.
one little layer of the Nella wafers at the bottom, so it has like a little.
Little plate, nice little plate to sit on.
Exactly. And then I put like just a little bit of it in here to give it like a base layer.
So fluffy.
And then
I have it on.
I cut up one banana, and again I like try to cut it nice and thin.
I can't do that.
I'm scared
I'm
that's
not
gonna
a
cut
good
yourself.
banana cutter.
Don't cut yourself, Dad.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not a super sharp.
Yeah, this isn't actually that sharp. You don't need a huge, like crazy sharp knife to cut bananas up.
Yeah. You're super sharp and to cut like the
Get
sucker
the bread knife. Get the bread knife. Oh, that noise though.
And then I put one more layer of wafers, and then you just literally repeat that with each banana. Put another layer of the pudding in.
Oh, so fluffy.
And then usually when it's half done, if you want 4 bananas, I'll put 2 in at this layer, and then do one more layer, and then put the final banana right before the top layer.
Oh, be fast.
Very fast. He should be like a professional cook.
Well, I don't know about that. Banana pudding isn't the most complicated recipe in the world.
But it's.
Is this your
And if
recipe?
you want them even smaller, you can cut the banana in half
Dad, is
first,
this your recipe?
long ways, and then it will just make it even smaller pieces.
Dad, is this your
And then
recipe or something
when you
else?
cut it this way,
Someone else's.
it will already be, half as big as those other ones. So it depends on how much people like the bananas, or if they want them to be more hidden,
Me love
or if they want it to be
banana.
like.
We love banana.
One more little layer of the wafers, and then I put just a little bit left at the end so that I can make sure it's covered on the top.
The final
Couple
one.
things with the bananas: if there's any bananas sticking out at the top, they'll get brown, but if they're inside here, they'll stay, not
Contained.
bad. Yeah. I'm probably only gonna add maybe not quite the full.
Contained.
And then, if you want, you can add a little whatever's left of your wafers. You can chop them up real fine and put a little
Ooh, sprinkle.
You sprinkle on the top for a little garnish if you want,
Yeah, garnish. Lots fun.
just to make it look a little prettier.
Sprinkle. Sprinkle. Little swirl. I'm
Last
probably vanilla
layer.
wafers.
Well, I won't put those ones that went on the floor. And then here's the last little layer. Usually I try to like put the spatula so you can make sure you get all of it out.
And then there you go. You put
And
it
then,
Put it in the fridge for 12 hours.
yep, you just cover it with like saran wrap and then put it in the fridge, because when you put it in the fridge overnight, the wafers, like the pudding sinks into the wafers and they get really like yummy and
Soft.
soft.
and cold. Squishy.
Yep.
Squishy.
And that is it.
Woohoo.
Pretty easy. And then
Round
we
of
gotta
applause.
take
Round of
a
applause.
final
3,
picture
2,
with
1.
Vivian and, well, all three of you around the pudding so we can send it to Grandma Gore because it's her recipe.